Hey, welcome to another episode of MLM Renegade. Today, guys, I'm excited to talk about this. We're going to talk about negative self-talk and what a terrible thing it can be for you. So here's the million-dollar question. How are network marketers like us, who've tried everything their upline ever suggested to be successful, and yet still struggled, who grew up with technology and aren't stuck in the 20th century, how are we supposed to grow our downlines in our bank accounts and yet still have time for real life? My name is J.R. McKee. Join me as we explore how to use 21st century learning and technology to grow our downlines and build lasting wealth. Simply put, this is MLM done different. Welcome to MLM Renegade. All right, guys, welcome back. And I've had a couple of week layoff here, and I've some life has gotten in the way, and so. But this is actually the beginning of year number 2 of MLM Renegade. I'm really excited about that, and really excited for what the next year is going to bring us, because I think there's a really great opportunity for exploring some trends and some pieces in the market that just simply aren't getting done. You know, I've had a lot of different people on for interviews over the past year, and I want to continue to do that. But I really want to think about and talk about how you, as the entrepreneur, thinks about things that you're dealing with in your daily life. I recently took a new day job, which in my mind I say again, and really the reasoning for that is the last couple of years have been difficult. And I finally feel like I found a place where I've landed where I can be myself, and flex those entrepreneurial muscles, but at the same time in a spot where I can really make a difference for this company that I'm working for. I'm working in sales, in software. Not a lot has changed in that regard, but it gives me a really great opportunity to reset and rethink. Here as we come into the holidays, we just had a holiday party this past weekend, and I've had kids who've had birthdays, and this time of year is really exciting and really fun, and it makes me think a lot. And so I wanted to talk today about negative self-talk. The words that we tell ourselves are more impactful than any word that anybody else tells us. I mean, simply put, we are the sum of our thoughts. Our thoughts become our actions, and our actions define our character. And I think that if we are going through life and we're telling ourselves what terrible human beings we are, how lousy we are, we're going to believe that. And that trap of being overly critical, hypercritical of ourselves is one that many of us fall into, myself included. Much of my income in my professional career is derived through commissions, and those commissions can be large, and if they don't come, they can be painful. The old adage is you either get chicken or feathers, and I've had more feathers than I'd like to admit, but I love it when the chicken comes in. And but if we think negatively, if we talk to ourselves negatively, and it's those negative thoughts, we may not voice them, we may just look for the worst in things. Those periods of time are ones where at least for myself, I'm the most miserable. Like, they're just not fun. And I saw this actually in the lives of my own children this past week. And let me explain. My 2 youngest children are 13 and 10, and they play the piano, much at the behest of their mother. But they play the piano, and I'll be a proud dad for a minute and say that they play pretty well. My 13-year-old daughter, I would say, plays exceptionally well. And she has been practicing for months for a piano recital that actually took place on her 13th birthday. And this was this past week. And this piano recital, our piano teacher is a very accomplished pianist. He's actually a piano performance professor at the local university. And he's really good and really demanding. And he expects a lot out of my kids, which I really appreciate because he wants them to do their absolute best. And so because of that, she'd been practicing her piece, which was Clair de Lune by Claude Debussy, for more than 6 months. So much so that she was bored of it. And it got to the point where suddenly she had this like mental block with about, 3 days before her piano recital that she couldn't play the piece. She wouldn't play it like she was playing any other thing. And yet she needed to practice this piece in order to be able to perform it at her piano recital. And her negative self-talk was just overwhelming for her. It was absolutely debilitating for her actual ability to perform it. And we had a breakthrough late one night where she realized that she was being silly. She's like, this is stupid. I can play this. I can play this well. And she sat down at the piano and played it perfectly one evening after having not played it for 3 or 4 days. And we cheered for her, of course. And we pointed out to her that she can do that at any time that she likes. That she has that capability, that talent to be able to play this incredible piece of music and many other pieces of music. But she has this ability, and that when she talks to herself positively, she can literally accomplish anything. And, it reminds me of that old movie, Back to the Future, right? Marty McFly, the futuristic version of Marty McFly, the cool Marty McFly, tells his son, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. And that is so true in so much of what we do. There is so much truth to that. For example, I set a goal. I wanted to go to Funnel Hacking Live. It is ClickFunnels user conference. It's taking place here at the end of January. I'm excited for it. And so I set a goal. And then I put my goal into action. I kind of planted my flag and I said, I'm going to go. And I made a hotel reservation for the 5 nights that I needed to be there. Now, the hotel reservation, I'll be honest, it's kind of like a pie crust promise, right? It was easily broken. I could cancel that reservation within like 3 days of the event happening with no repercussions. But I had at least planted my flag. And then I went further and I bought a plane ticket. Now, buying the plane ticket was a major step for me because, okay, now I'm really going and I got to figure out how to buy the actual event ticket and pay for that hotel. And then this last week, I purchased the event ticket from proceeds from my Chrome extension. So again, I figured out a way to get there. And that positive self-talk of, yes, I'm going and I'm going to figure it out, that's what drove me. That's what helped me to get to where I wanted to be. And so now I have a ticket and I have a plane ticket and I have somebody to split a room with and I'm going. I'm excited. It's going to be in about 6 weeks from now and I can't wait. I've already got the time requested off of work, all of that. Because I set a goal. Now, there's a lot of people there who I'm really excited to hear speak. I mean, it's like a 4-day conference, but the ending keynote speaker is none other than Tony Robbins, like the Tony Robbins. So I'm really excited to hear and to get fulfilled with all these people and to really be able to just consume the excitement and feed off of the energy of other entrepreneurs. And so I recommend going to events, whether it's in network marketing, whether it's in any sort of business that you're a part of. When you go to an environment like that, you can feed off the energy. In network marketing, the idea is that leaders are born at events. That's a common refrain that I've heard and I believe, because you are able to feed off of that energy and making a commitment and being in a place like that gives you more power over time so that you can actually strengthen your resolve and move forward. And so now, as I'm strengthening my resolve, I'm actually working on an ad set for this Chrome extension so that I can pour some gas on this fire and really get more things purchased. And so that is one of those things that I'm able to do. Now, sometimes in network marketing, we need to go and actually pour some gasoline on our own product sales, or we need to help our team in doing those things. And an event can absolutely fuel that. But the reason that these events are so powerful is because they don't leave any room for negative self-talk. They simply don't have it. All that you're surrounded with is positivity and the benefits of working with the company that you're working with the people that you're working with. This gives you that opportunity to move forward, to grow, and to get outside of your own head. So often I talk to entrepreneurs of all types that are stuck inside their head. They cannot get out of their own way. You know, I was talking with Steve Larson, and he was talking about find who, not how, to do something. So I need to create a video ad for this ad set. Who can help me with that? Not how do I do it on my own, because my time's valuable. How I spend my time can be really precious. For me, spending time with my family, especially at the holidays, is very precious. But who, not how, allows me to be positive in my self-talk, because now I'm hiring an expert to do that. Now I'm going out of my way to be strong and to be the kind of entrepreneur that I want to be. I'm being the person who makes decisions and is a mover and a shaker, as opposed to at other points in my life where I've had negative thoughts and I've had self-doubt. All of us have self-doubt. All of us have days where we just don't want to get out of bed. We just want to sleep in. You know, with this new job, there's a gymnasium or a gym at the office, and so I've committed now to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday before I go to work, and so I'm getting out of bed about 6 a.m. and going to the gym. This morning, I didn't want to go. It was cold outside. It was cold outside my bed. I did not want to roll out of bed at 6 o'clock when the alarm went off and go to the gym, but I did, and I feel a lot better. And the endorphin rush that I get is so worth it, and I always feel better. I've never gone to the gym and regretted it. I always, I may be sore, but I've never regretted it. When we do those things, when we make micro commitments to ourselves, that increases our positive self-talk. We know that, I owned this morning, right? I can be positive. I can be forceful about that idea and about that feeling that I got. So now as I move forward, I know that I can do it again and again, and I can be consistent. One of the things I've definitely learned over the past years, I've been bringing you this podcast, and I'm excited that we're starting into year 2 and just more great things coming. But one of the things that I learned is that consistency is so important. If you just show up. Showing up is hard. Showing up isn't easy. Showing up makes, it is difficult. But if we show up, if you just show up, 80%, 90% of the battle is showing up. Being consistent and moving through those issues and letting those obstacles become the way, that is what being an entrepreneur is about. The obstacle is the way, Ryan Holiday says in his book, The Obstacle is the Way. He's actually another keynote speaker at Funnel Hacking Live, and I'm excited for. You guys, if I can leave you with anything this week, it's simply this. Pay attention to the thoughts that you're having about your own success. Pay attention to the thoughts you're having about other people's success. And listen. And then make sure that those thoughts, that those things, those feelings that you're having are all positive. Okay? Life is not a zero-sum game. Just because somebody is winning does not mean that you inherently have to lose. Okay, let me say that again. Just because someone else is winning does not mean that you are losing. Okay? Everybody can be a winner. Everybody can be positive. There is more than enough. There is an abundance of riches and goods that we can all tap into. There is an abundance of opportunity for each and every one of us to be successful in whatever the endeavor that we take on is, whether it's network marketing, whether it's a brick and mortar business, whether it's anything at all. We have the capacity to win. And I believe that we have a God above us, a Father in heaven, who wants the very best for us and hates listening to us negatively self-talk. Just like I hated listening to my daughter talk negatively about herself and about her own talents, our God has the same feeling for each of us. Okay, whether that's the universe, that's some greater being, whoever that is for you, He wants the best for you. They want the best for you. And when you are willing to put that to the test, when you're willing to talk positively about yourself, you are going to do wonderful and amazing things. There's an abundance of riches waiting for you. Guys, that's all I've got for this week. I'm getting back to this. I'm getting back to consistency. I need to be more consistent with the podcast, and I will be. I'm excited to get this one dropped for you. And you guys have a great week. Hey, thanks for listening, and please remember to subscribe. And if you loved us, leave us an awesome review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you consume your podcasts. Now, if you'd like some free training for your team on how your recruiting efforts can be bettered and brought into the 21st century, go to podcast.mlmrenegade.com and get your copy of the Renegade Recruiting Kickstarter.